Hello everybody and welcome back to RainBro Crafts. My name is Colton and today Zac will be making for you a soap inspired by Chappell Roan and her song Pink Pony Club. This is a really fun, fruity soap that uses sparkling raspberry fragrance oil from our local soap supplier Shea Company. And then it is a path soap, meaning that it uses some of our soap shavings to add a little extra fun confetti-like design to the soap bar. So stay tuned if you want to see the next soap in our Dazzling Divas Volume 2 collection.
Alrighty, let's get this soap making started. So off screen, Zac poured the lye water solution into our signature plant-based oil blend, and he is just going to blitz that up really quick to make sure it is well incorporated and comes to just the lightest trace. Then we will add in our colloidal oatmeal and a little bit of water. The water is to offset what the kaolin clay that we put in the fragrance oil takes out of the soap batter, and it also helps so you don't get any lumps and clumps from that oatmeal. Next up, we will add in our fragrance oil and our rose clay. This fragrance oil is sparkling raspberry from Shea Company, one of our local soap and candle ingredient suppliers, and this is really a phenomenal raspberry fragrance. So if you're looking for a raspberry scent for candles or soap, definitely check this out. It smells like raspberry sorbet. It's pretty crazy actually, and we're very excited to be able to use this. Since this soap is inspired by Pink Pony Club from Chappell Roan, we did want to pump up the pink color just ever so slightly. So we did add a little bit of this hodgepodge of pink micas that we had left over. We actually used it in the mica line for the Wrecking Ball Miley Cyrus video that's not out quite yet. But we just had a hodgepodge of pink mica that we wanted to use up, and that's what is in this. This soap is the 7th soap in our Dazzling Divas Volume 2 collection, and so we decided to do a path soap instead of just the normal soaps that we were doing. So these are soap scraps. There is about 20 ounces worth for the whole entire batch. Zac poured off about half of the soap batter into the soap mold that had those soap scraps, and then he'll just mix that up well to make sure there's no air bubbles. The thing to pay attention to when you're making any soap with any sort of additives, especially if they're really chunky, is that it does increase the opportunity for soap pockets to form, or air pockets to form, not soap pockets. So you just need to stir it really well. Later on in this video, he will pat it on the table to get out any of those residual air pockets. Since this is a pretty simple soap in terms of design, we do not need to keep any of this topping or the soap batter for the top design, so he will scrape out the container there, and then we will also level off the top. Like I mentioned, this is a soap inspired by the Chappell Roan song Pink Pony Club. If you haven't been in the popular culture music media recently, Chappell Roan is kind of exploding everywhere. She has a song called Pink Pony Club. I believe she's on tour with Olivia Rodrigo right now as the opening act. So definitely go check her out, because we probably listen to the album at least once a day, both of us. So we are putting quite a few stream numbers into the Chappell Roan universe there. For the top design, Zac's doing something a little bit different, and you will probably see this a lot more in future soap making videos. And that is, it's pretty simple. It's kind of like a fluting type design. So he is just going backwards and forwards with a spoon, not lifting it up to get really big like divots in the top of the soap, continuous divots. And then when you cut it, it looks like a ridge or something like that, and you'll see that when we get to the cutting portion of this video. It's really simple. It's really pretty though, so we're definitely going to be doing this on future path soaps. It might just be the path soap design for all of our soaps that we put soap scraps in, the Vantucky Mule, and also we use the Bergamot Black Tea fragrance oil in a path style soap as well. I realize that if you're new to us or haven't seen us in person, you might not know what a path soap is. So when we bevel the edges of our soap, our bar soap, we save all of those shavings and then we mix them into a new batch of soap by making a new batch of soap, and then we stir in some of the shavings, just like this soap here. And then we called that a path soap initially because it kind of looks like a garden path with all of the different colors and things in it. Other soap makers call them like confetti bars or terrazzo bars or something like that. The first fragrance we used was a very gardeny, nature type fragrance, and so we thought garden path, and then we just kind of kept going with that naming convention. While I've been chatting, Zac has been putting some pink mica in a little atomizer and spritzing it on the top. It's really hard to see on the camera because the pink is almost the exact same color as the soap batter is. Once the soap batter dries, you can actually see that little sparkle a little bit better. It probably could have used just a skosh more, but sometimes it's hard to tell when you're putting on a mica dusting. It still does give a nice shimmery glimmer to the top. And then after 24 hours covered up, this soap is ready to be split into loaves and then also cut into bars. I always like cutting up these soaps because each one is different. The design, the scraps look different. Sometimes you get a lot of one color or another color, and you can also, at least from our perspective, kind of judge where we were in the soaping process, because the soap scraps kind of layer up in our big sealed bucket we keep them in. Then we'll break out Dorothy and we will slice this soap up. One thing to note when you are slicing soap that has additives, especially like embeds, soap embeds or something like that, you do have to be a little careful when you're using a wire cutter because sometimes the harder soap can cause your wire to break. So just go a little slower, don't use force, kind of just let the machine do all of the work. If you're using like one of those metal slicing tools, that's a little bit different and you can kind of just go with the flow. This one you kind of just want to like ease into the soap cutting. And you can see that really cool wavy design there, and it is just a really nice effect for a pretty simple bar, but this fragrance is really, really good. Our whole soap room smells like raspberries right now, which we are a big fan of. But just like all of the other Volume 2 Dazzling Divas collection, this soap will be for sale starting May 1st online and in person, so definitely come check us out or visit our website to grab your Chapel Roan Pink Pony Club soap bar or any of the other Volume 2 Divas collections. They're all really, really great. You're going to have to stay tuned for the remainder of the month to see what the rest of those are. Also, don't forget we have that shared Spotify playlist where you can see all of the Dazzling Divas, so I'll link that down below. I want to give a big shout out to our subscribers, our big ol' flamers, our foamy homies, and our newest foamy homie, Julia A. So welcome to the team, Julia A. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below your favorite Dazzling Diva, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.